Day 356, Friday, February 2nd. 2 Chronicles 2 and 1 Kings 5. 2 Chronicles 2 1-18 NKJV. Then Solomon determined to build a temple for the name of the Lord, and a royal house for himself. Solomon selected 70,000 men to bear burdens, 80,000 to quarry stone in the mountains, and 3,600 to oversee them. Then Solomon sent to Hiram king of Tyre, saying, As you have dealt with David my father, and sent him cedars to build himself a house to dwell in, so deal with me. Behold, I am building a temple for the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him, to burn before him sweet incense, for the continual showbread, for the burnt offerings morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, on the new moons, and on the set feasts of the Lord our God. This is an ordinance forever to Israel, and the temple which I build will be great, for our God is greater than all gods. But who is able to build him a temple, since heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain him? Who am I then, that I should build him a temple, except to burn sacrifice before him? Therefore send me at once a man skillful to work in gold and silver, in bronze and iron, in purple and crimson and blue, who is skilled to engrave with the skillful men who are with me in Judah and Jerusalem, whom David my father provided. Also send me cedar and cypress and algum logs from Lebanon, for I know that your servants have skill to cut timber in Lebanon, and indeed my servants will be with your servants, to prepare timber for me in abundance, for the temple which I am about to build shall be great and wonderful. And indeed I will give to your servants, the woodsmen who cut timber, 20,000 cores of ground wheat, 20,000 cores of barley, 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. Then Hiram king of Tyre answered in writing, which he sent to Solomon, Because the Lord loves his people, he has made you king over them. Hiram also said, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, who made heaven and earth, for he has given King David a wise son, endowed with prudence and understanding, who will build a temple for the Lord and a royal house for himself. And now I have sent a skillful man, endowed with understanding, Huram my master craftsman, the son of a woman of the daughters of Dan, and his father was a man of Tyre, skilled to work in gold and silver, bronze and iron, stone and wood, purple and blue, fine linen and crimson, and to make any engraving and to accomplish any plan which may be given to him, with your skillful men and with the skillful men of my lord David your father. Now therefore, the wheat, the barley, the oil, and the wine which my lord has spoken of, let him send to his servants, and we will cut wood from Lebanon, as much as you need. We will bring it to you in rafts by sea to Joppa, and you will carry it up to Jerusalem. Then Solomon numbered all the aliens who were in the land of Israel, after the census in which David his father had numbered them, and there were found to be 153,600. And he made 70,000 of them bearers of burdens, 80,000 stonecutters in the mountain, and 3,600 overseers to make the people work. 1 Kings 5 1-18 NKJV. Now Hiram king of Tyre sent his servants to Solomon, because he heard that they had anointed him king in place of his father, for Hiram had always loved David. Then Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, You know how my father David could not build a house for the name of the Lord his God because of the wars which were fought against him on every side, until the Lord put his foes under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God has given me rest on every side. There is neither adversary nor evil occurrence. And behold, I propose to build a house for the name of the Lord my God, as the Lord spoke to my father David, saying, Your son, whom I will set on your throne in your place, he shall build the house for my name. Now therefore, command that they cut down cedars for me from Lebanon, and my servants will be with your servants, and I will pay you wages for your servants according to whatever you say. For you know there is none among us who is skilled to cut timber like the Sidonians. So it was, when Hiram heard the words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, for he has given David a wise son over this great people. Then Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the message which you sent me, and I will do all you desire concerning the cedar and cypress logs. My servants shall bring them down from Lebanon to the sea. I will float them in rafts by sea to the place you indicate to me, and will have them broken apart there. Then you can take them away, and you shall fulfill my desire by giving food for my household. Then Hiram gave Solomon cedar and cypress logs according to all his desire. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 cores of wheat as food for his household, and 20 cores of pressed oil. Thus Solomon gave to Hiram year by year. So the Lord gave Solomon wisdom, as he had promised him, and there was peace between Hiram and Solomon, and the two of them made a treaty together. Then King Solomon raised up a labor force out of all Israel, and the labor force was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month in shifts. They were 1 month in Lebanon and 2 months at home. Adoniram was in charge of the labor force. Solomon had 70,000 who carried burdens, and 80,000 who quarried stone in the mountains, besides 3,300 from the chiefs of Solomon's deputies, who supervised the people who labored in the work. And the king commanded them to quarry large stones, costly stones, and hewn stones, to lay the foundation of the temple. So Solomon's builders, Hiram's builders, and the Gebalites quarried them, and they prepared timber and stones to build the temple. Daily Deep Dive. The UCG Reading Program states, Hiram, king of Tyre, had been David's ally, and had helped him build his palace at Jerusalem. 2 Samuel 5:11. Some see the words Hiram had always loved David, 1 Kings 5:1, to simply denote their political alliance, the word for ally in a number of Old Testament passages literally meaning lover. But Solomon's note about the temple begins, suggesting that David had shared his dream of building a temple with Hiram as well, and that the two may have been actual friends. Bible Reader's Companion. Note on 1 Kings 5:1-6. The area of modern Lebanon along the border between the two ancient kingdoms contains some of the best timber around, and Hiram has some highly skilled workers. So Solomon arranges for workmen from this Phoenician king to help cut and deliver wood for the temple, and to assist in stone cutting. Hiram offers Solomon one craftsman in particular, also named Hiram, or Huram, the son of a man of Tyre and an Israelite woman, who will make most of the temple furnishings, as Bezalel made things for the tabernacle in the wilderness. Solomon also drafts thousands of Israelite workers. In addition to slave labor, Solomon relied on the corvée, labor exacted in lieu of taxes by public authorities, to provide workers. This practice was common in ancient times, and involved claiming a person's labor as sort of a personal tax. By alternating shifts, Solomon was able to maintain agricultural production at home, while keeping work moving on his massive construction project. Not many years ago, some rural counties in the Midwest had a form of corvée. Farmers would keep the roadsides mowed in return for reduction of local taxes. Note on verses 13-17. And 2 Chronicle 2 notes, verses 4 and 5. I find it interesting that Solomon takes this opportunity to share a few key aspects of truth with the king of Tyre. As we have the opportunity, we should share God's truth in appropriate amounts and ways with those around us. Verse 10. A bath was a Hebrew measure of liquid. It was equal to the dry measure of ephah. Verse 15. Let him send to his servants as a way of this king of Tyre accepting these things of Solomon and calling himself one of Solomon's servants. 1 Kings 5 notes, verse 18, the KJV says stone squarers where the NKJV says Giblites. The Giblites were men of Gebal who were under the jurisdiction of Tyre and were exceptionally skilled with stones. JFB commentary states these great beveled or grooved stones, measuring some 20, others 30 feet in length, and from 5 to 6 feet in breadth, are still seen in the substructures about the ancient site of the temple, and, in the judgment of the most competent observers, were those originally employed to lay the foundation of the house. End.